They're very similar to what we did at Baylor. Cover the field from sideline to sideline. Um, Very fast. The tempo is you've got to be very simple with your calls. You've got to you got to get lined up, especially on their sideline. They seem to go faster when they're on their sideline. Obviously they've had great success with the quarterbacks that they've had there. I don't know if anybody ever thought about it, but I was looking at our 15 game there when I played him at Baylor, and Mahomes was the quarterback and Webb was the backup. When you throw in the other kid that they had, I mean, they've had a run of quarterbacks. And this kid's a good player from that transferred from Iowa. But the tempo, Cliff has great knowledge of what he wants to do. He has a feel, of where he wants to attack and how he wants to attack. So that's always good for an offense. They know what they're doing. I don't nothing against Eastern Washington, but they were overmatched, and I thought that Cliff started the game real conservative with him. Wanted to get him into the throws that he was making. I thought he did a good job with him. Eastern Washington stopped him 2 or 3 times, and then he got in a rhythm, and that's the thing that Cliff does, and I think that's why he's very good on offense. He gets the ball to his playmakers, hands, and their guys. The 2 inside guys are really good players. Number 14, Cantrell, who was at the same school as Mahomes, is a guy that goes unnoticed, but he's really a good player.
Third different type of offense in 3 weeks for you guys, and a major contrast style-wise from San Diego State to Texas Tech.
You think?
Yes. What challenges are presented by that?
Well, you got to change gears. It's we were. If you would have told me last week that we would have forced San Diego State to play as much 11 personnel on third down, I'd tell you we won the game. And we were able to get them in third downs, and we, obviously, I felt even with a long run that if we make that play on 3rd and 21, we'll win the game. I felt like we could do that. But you just got to change gears, and one of the things I noticed in this Eastern Washington game, and it's always, I think they've always wanted to run the ball, but they made more of a conscious effort to stay with the run than any time that I've seen him.
Given you mentioned this third and long success or extra long success that they had against you last week. Did you consider bringing an extra defensive back on the field? I know that the personnel grouping maybe.
No. Now, you play your best players. And a lot of times people say, well, go to nickel. Well, does that make you better because it's nickel? Twice we had line movement that we didn't get. It wasn't called, with a quarterback draw and those things. And then one time with Penny, we have 2 guys right in the hole with him, and just missed the tackle. But you evaluate, see what you can do, and go from there. Well, I mean, we had a guy come off. We had great pressure, and that wasn't a design play. That was a scramble. And we had a guy, if he just stays on the back, if this one guy, one of our linebackers, stays on the back, he might gain 10 yards, but we're going to get him, right? And you got to have the discipline of staying in coverage. It doesn't matter what you do. I mean, we had great coverage. I mean, it would have been a coverage sack. That's the thing. When you do a flip to a back, you got to stay in coverage, and then we missed the tackle.
So on that note, do you think Texas Tech present that same problem as far as locating backs?
Yeah, they've got backs that are capable. Stockton is a kid I know very well. He's from San Antonio, extremely fast, good hands. He's a guy that you better be aware of out of the backfield. Yes. The learning curve for what now? Oh, it's let's don't kid ourselves. I told you it's going to be a journey. I mean, you got guys that have never played. I mean, 4 guys back there that are extremely inexperienced. But here's the good part. I've said it again. I mean, they love football. They work hard. They understand. Our coverage last week, with the exception of the one, the 21-yard play, was pretty dang good. And we just got to work, to get better. And coverage is about distribution and numbers. You go back to New Mexico State. I always look back and say, all right, what did we do good? What are these guys watching? And every ball that they caught was a contested ball. I mean, every one of them. I mean, take the one in the end zone. I mean, it was a contested ball. The one on the sideline. So if you keep doing that and you play, you get a little bit stronger at reception point, then you've got a chance to stay in a game.
After the New Mexico State game, you guys had 10 missed tackles and 3 critical errors. What were those numbers?
I think it was about 17. But here's the thing, Doug. They were at crucial times. I mean, we had on the last drive. It's like I told Todd. I mean, I thought if you take out, I say this again, that 21-yard 3rd and 21. I felt we were good enough. We would have recovered from. I told you last week they were going to try to make our corners tackle, and Colby missed. Just missed it. But he made a lot of them too. But I thought that collectively we got a little bit rushed when he made that run, and we started grabbing instead of running through. Then we settled down, and then we started really, getting in a group. But twice, we could have, the quarterback scramble. The third, I think it was 3rd and 14, and we had a guy go to the wrong gap on a line movement, but it was more than what it was, probably close to double than was the first game.
So when you have a game like this, you're really familiar with Texas Tech. Texas Tech's really familiar with you from your days in Baylor. I mean, how does that change their approach to the game? I mean, do you really try to stay away from past tendencies?
Well, you look at things that they've done against you, because we're all creatures of habit, and I look at things I've done against them, and I was fortunate when we were at Baylor. We were 5-1. Now, we scored a lot of points too. It was always a game that it was two extremely fast offenses. I remember one year we beat them, and this is honest God truth. I think we played 45 plays in the first quarter. I mean, the tempo was just both teams. It was like just bad. Cliff, Coach Cliff, and they're very close. And it was like, let's see how many plays we can run against each other. And it wasn't a defensive coordinator's day. But you find out. I think that I go back to what I said. I mean, you've got to minimize, the explosion plays. Anything they get, they have to earn. I mean, there's going to be some yardage. I mean, right now in today's football, I don't worry about our yardage. I say last week, if we would have played well on special teams, and been equal. I was disappointed we didn't get a takeaway. We had twice the ball was on the ground, and we didn't get it. I didn't think we'd get a lot of interceptions, but I think in this game, this is a game you've got to look for takeaways, and there'll be some yardage in between. You want them to be from the 20 to 20, and limit the explosions.
Do you think that Christian Sam, you weren't here when he played 2 years ago, but do you think there's some rust that he's still shaking off after?
Oh yeah, and Christian knows that. Christian's deal is it's a good deal and it's a bad deal. He wants to make every play. Yeah, you know what I mean? He wants to make every play, and the hardest thing to do. He's working hard. I mean, I have no issues with him. He wants to make. He's just got to do his job. Just do his job, and we'll be in business. And I thought he played hard the other night. I mean, I really did. He got frustrated. He had a couple of things, but from the first game to the second game, it was improvement.
Jack, Coach, going on the road this week, is there any sort of things you change in terms of how aggressive or conservative you guys are, or is it just the same home or away?
Not really. I think Todd, we talked about the schedule. We're going to try to keep the same schedule. We're an early morning practice team. We give them Monday off, and we're going to give them Friday off. We go to 11. So Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, they're up probably at 5:30 or something. So they get to sleep in before they go to class on Friday. We're going to go to a local high school there in Lubbock to practice, to go through some things. We're going to try to stay on the same schedule. You know, it's a night game. You know, it'll be 7 o'clock their time, 5 o'clock our time. Tech's a great place to play. You know, they love their team. I've got a daughter that graduated from there. My son graduated from there, so a lot of familiarity. They will support it well, and I think our kids will enjoy playing in that atmosphere.